Production of Broad and High is funded in part by the Greater Columbus Arts Council, supporting arts, advancing culture, and connecting the community to artists, events, and classes at columbusmakesart.com.
PNC, committed to Central Ohio, for the achiever in you. From these contributing sponsors and viewers like you, thank you.
This time on Broad and High, we're checking out the local roller skating scene with a visit to Skate Zone 71.
This right here is the epitome of Columbus skating right here.
We'll get up close and personal with this little guy and see how area artists transformed ostrich eggs into works of art. This and more right now on Broad and High. Welcome back to Broad and High. I'm your host, Kate Quickle. Now for some of us, the thought of hitting up the roller rink and lacing up a pair of skates brings back childhood memories. With the scarcity of rinks and the lack of attention to the scene, you might think roller skating is on the decline. But a visit to Skate Zone 71 on adult night is proof that roller skating is not dead. It's just gone underground. We got a peek into this vibrant subculture that is flourishing right here in Columbus.
We at Skate Zone 71. It's a Sunday night. Yo, this right here is the epitome of Columbus skating right here. I mean, if you haven't been before, it's an experience.
You know, people from all different cultures come out and skate, different skill levels. So the later you get into the session, the more you'll see.
I just happened to come with a friend one night. I was invited. So I came and I was like, wow, this is different from what I normally see. And I was just so excited. And I've been here ever since.
You know, if you're not in this atmosphere, it's really kind of foreign to some people because they don't understand that it's not just a movie. It's not just something they did in the 70s. It's very well still alive. You know, people still come skating. We still travel to skate and we have fun.
Growing up, like when I was a kid, it was fun and it was a way to stay out of trouble. But what really drew me to it is the thing that I can just relieve so much stress. So many worries of the world is gone once you hit that floor. I don't take my phone on me, don't take my wallet on me, nothing. For 3 to 4 hours, I am free with no worries of the world. It's just me, my eights, and the wood floor.
I've been skating for 58 years. I skate at least twice a week, sometimes 3 times a week.
I skate pretty much every Sunday, every Thursday, every Tuesday. Pretty much my life has been skating ever since I was 9 years old.
Well, I started when I was 4 years old. My father was a skater. I've been doing it ever since. My first job I ever had, first paycheck I ever had, I bought a pair of roller skates.
My dad taught me how to skate, but I come from a long line of skaters. My grandfather and grandmother were floor guards for this local skating rink back in the 30s and 40s. So my dad passed on the skill of skating to me, my brother, and my sister. My whole family, they all skate, my aunt, my cousin. So it's a generational thing, it's in my blood. I'm old school. I like vintage type gear, so my boot is from 1973. I have a plate that I customly ordered online. My wheels are are vintage wheels. I have about 7 sets of wheels. Most of them are from the 70s and 80s.
So the weird thing about my skates is this is my first pair, this is my second pair, and I merged them together and basically Frankenstein them.
These I have on, these are Stacy's with Fomax wheels. They're real slippery. They're like Cali style. Cali style, they skating a lot of Stacy's. It's like you're on water. Like you're like really like sliding across the floor the whole night.
I started skating when I was probably in about elementary school, but never took it as serious as I did now. I got 3 children now, so I'm a full-time dad. So I used to skate probably about 4 times a week. Now it's probably about once a month. So you caught me on my one good time for the month. So a lot of people, they still don't know that this happens, that we do this at night.
It's just a stress reliever. You just get on the floor and your soul goes to a whole nother place. The music, you know, we all just come together and have a great time. Skateology is our group. It's about 10 members, and we host an annual party called Icy Hot. Icy Hot is always like Super Bowl weekend. Skaters from all across the country. There's like 800 to 1,000 people skating.
It's like one big family. It's love, it's love. That's the skate community. We want more skaters. We need new skaters. So the more skaters come out, the more energy, the bigger the family.
There's a lot of history here. A lot of people have been skating for years, young and old, and it's still alive. Skating's still alive.
Adult skate nights are every Thursday and Sunday at Skate Zone 71. Visit unitedskates.com to learn more about this dynamic local roller skating scene. Next up, we delve into the seldom seen archives of Ohio History Connection. With nearly 2 million items in its collections, not everything always gets to see the light of day. In this installment of Artifacts, I got to learn a little about the snakes of Ohio. I met with an expert who assured me that when it comes to snakes, they are much more afraid of us than we should be of them.
Okay, Aaron, I see a lot of snakes in front of us. Why don't you tell me a little bit about these specimens that I'm not afraid of, but mildly uncomfortable?
I guess what I'll start with is we have 2 main preservation techniques here. We have specimens that are preserved in ethanol alcohol, and we have specimens here that have been prepared using a freeze dryer. This is a timber rattlesnake.
Okay.
These are endangered in Ohio, and they're also endangered in our neighboring state of Pennsylvania. Timber rattlesnakes especially are vilified, but there's a lot of mounting evidence now that they're really important for the control of Lyme disease. This is a black rat snake. This is probably one of the most common snakes in Ohio. A lot of people find them in their basements. They're actually pretty popular in the pet trade. They're very docile. Even wild specimens will calm down very quickly. This is the eastern Massasauga, also called the swamp rattler, and it's also endangered in Ohio, mostly due to habitat loss. So I got all of these out to sort of demonstrate a point that I wanted to make, and this is part of the game that I like to call Find the Copperhead.
Oh, okay.
Because
one of these?
Yes, there's one copperhead in this group
So
of
copperhead
snakes.
is a venomous snake,
That's
right?
correct.
And there aren't that many venomous snakes in Ohio.
There are 3 species. These are 2 of them, and the copperhead is the 3rd.
Okay. This one?
That actually is the copperhead.
Yes! Do I win a prize? Don't say a snake.
Copperheads are responsible for most of the bites in the United States. There's about 8,000 reported bites to the CDC every year on average, but there's only 5 deaths due to snake bite every year. The only reason why a copperhead would ever bite anybody is because you've disturbed it. This is a western hognose.
Western hognose snake.
But you can see why they're called a hognose, because he's got a little upturned snout. They tend to be naturally curious, and they're diurnal, which is nice.
What is that?
They're active during the day.
So his habitat, where you mentioned he likes sandy soil?
Yeah, hence the upturned snout. They use that for digging, and but one of their behaviors is burrowing. So if you have them in captivity, then they should be in something that they can dig into.
He does have a cute face.
See,
Not
isn't
gonna
he
lie.
cute?
So when snakes stick out their tongues like that, are they sort of getting their senses? What's that about?
Yeah, that's their main sensory organ. It's forked, and they have a special organ in the roof of their mouth called the Jacobson's organ, and it's basically just a really sophisticated smelling organ.
Okay. He's soft and scaly, but not slimy.
No, not slimy at all. They're very dry, and they're really pleasant to hold because you can feel their muscles. Yeah, they're very silky.
I'll take your word for it. He's beautiful.
I think so too.
Well, thank you, Erin. Thank you so much for educating us and for introducing us to this guy. This has been wonderful. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
A few years ago, the Columbus Convention Center completed a $140 million expansion and renovation. In addition to adding more exhibit and meeting space, the Convention Center also expanded its art collection. It's now home to more than 200 pieces of original art made by Central Ohio artists, making it the largest collection of local artwork in Franklin County.
We have about 900,000 people come through this center each year. And we are now a gateway to the Short North, so it only made sense to have artwork reflected there. We have about 200 pieces representing 150 artists, and they are all from Central Ohio.
I'm born and raised in Ohio. I'm Columbus. I was born and raised on the southeast side of town. I went to CCAD, and my freshman year I took this fashion design course. We took a field trip to one of those fabric stores. I don't know if it was Joann's or whatever, and I saw this one particular fabric that I saw, and for some reason I said, I'm going to buy this fabric, and one day I'm going to do something with it. And then it kind of progressed to what you have today. The fabric that I use, a wide range of fabrics. Mainly it's leather and suede. Those are pretty much my base fabrics. I go through so many X-Acto blades. I pretty much make sure that I keep at least 2 packs on hand. The piece today that I'm working on is actually another commission piece. We're going to do a picture of a jazz singer. And he wants it to be done in just all denim. So that's going to be interesting. It's sort of a challenge, but I'm up for it.
You've got to have Amina Robinson. She's one of the leading artists that came from Columbus, Ohio. The Rag-and-Ons are the long, like rectangular paintings that just rag on and on. That's how she came up with the name. And this one is about Mount Vernon Avenue, which of course she grew up over on Mount Vernon Avenue. And so this street, which was one of the central avenues of the African American community earlier in the 20th century, she wanted to know it intimately and historically in ways that she knew both personally but also historically. And so you'll see in the painting there's all the characters that she identified as part of the businesses that were part of Mount Vernon Avenue, and then the characters, the people that were part of it. One of the great things is on the lower left corner when you face the piece, everybody needs to look for Amina herself. She painted herself in the picture. But the idea is for us to be able to keep an Amina Robinson on exhibition at the Convention Center. This is part of our legacy as an entire community, the wonderful artists that lived here and worked here.
I'm from LaGrange, Ohio. So I have lived there my entire life until recently. I'm moving here to Columbus to earn my MFA at CCAD, Columbus College of Art and Design. I am 73 years old. Every time I say that, it's so hard to believe. Part of the things that I paint is absurdity. I want you to be surprised and maybe laugh a little. It's okay if you laugh at my work. And see this element, like, why is this wallpaper in the sky, which has a level of absurdity to it. So first off, this is a photograph that I took of a farm, of an Amish farm. And this is a Grant Wood painting. But I've been playing with this idea of bringing the sky and making it a wallpaper. So I kind of layered. I borrowed from Grant Wood. I borrowed from this wonderful Amish farm, and then put my own little spin to it with my landscape. And it's interesting, one of my friends said the other day, like, your landscapes are so flat. Well, up where I live, it is so flat. When I grew up, I thought that's the only way land came. Flat.
We have a very exciting, huge art piece, a sculpture done by a local artist, Matthew Moore.
I have been working on this project for 2 years. To describe it, it is a 14-foot, three-dimensional LED head that essentially allows people to go inside the back of the neck and sit down and get a three-dimensional picture of them. And then when they step out, their portrait is displayed on the 14-foot head. So the idea is to show Columbus as a welcoming, diverse community.
I think personalizing our convention center to our community wasn't my idea. I wish I could take credit for that. It was not my idea, but I think it was an incredible idea.
I don't think there are very many convention centers that have this, and I have a feeling that this may inspire a trend. I don't know.
Free guided tours of the Convention Center's art collection are available if scheduled in advance, or explore the collection on your own anytime. Visit meetusincolumbus.com to learn more. A remarkable display of 48 decorated ostrich eggs that were recently on view at the Southern Ohio Museum in Portsmouth was the culmination of a years-long project by Columbus lawyer and art collector Charles Bluestone. He recruited dozens of artists from across Ohio and provided them with an egg to use as a canvas. And as you'll soon see, their level of creativity was extraordinary.
When I was a young attorney, I lived in Sutton Place on the east side of Manhattan. And every night I would take my dog, a Westie named Bucky, down East 58th Street for a walk. And on the way back, we'd pass a basement apartment that had a large picture window at street level. And at night, when the lights were on, we could see inside. And sitting on top of a big coffee table in front of the sofa was a large bowl piled high with ostrich eggs. And I used to stop and look at the ostrich eggs and think about how incredibly beautiful and simple it was. And every once in a while, I would think about them. And I said, wouldn't it be wonderful if I took these eggs and had some of my artist friends make a painting on the egg, taking the same object and seeing how they can each transform it differently.
So this is the egg that Charles gave me. It's a hollow ostrich egg. And the holding it and feeling it in my hands, it has a really beautiful texture to it, and it also has a significant amount of weight to it considering that it's an egg or an empty egg shell. It actually feels to me almost like ceramic, so I just intuitively want to put my ceramics on this. So I'm going to take this beautiful surface that's already here and attach some creatures onto it. I like the idea of the mystery of what's inside the egg, of what's contained within, knowing that there's a fetus of some sort in here, a baby waiting to be birthed in here. So I want to put these fetuses, these intertwined creatures, all on the surface so that we get a peek at what's maybe on the inside of the egg.
The title of the show is Art 360, Contemporary Art Hatching Across Ohio. And then serendipitously one day I met Charlotte Gordon from the Southern Ohio Museum.
And I immediately thought this would segue so well into Clarence Carter. Clarence Holbrook Carter was a painter who was born and raised here in Portsmouth. And Clarence Carter imagined our souls embodying this egg shape, this ovoid, and then being able to travel and transcend realms and travel around. And he was very articulate in his paintings in what he pictured happening to the human soul. Chuck had this passion for these ostrich eggs. It echoed the spirit of Carter and his passion for this ovoid shape.
They're just unbelievable displays of artistic imagination.
A lot of them are pictures that unfold all the way around the piece.
For me, ultimately, I was like, how am I going to approach this surface? It's so different for me. You know, obviously, I've never done a watercolor on a three-dimensional surface. There's no chance that this surface reacts the same way that like my paper does. And that's all I've painted on for the last 5 years is basically paper. And it absorbs a certain way and it dries a certain way. And so it's going to be really interesting to see how the layering works on, you know, like a gessoed ostrich egg. So that was kind of the fun part, was thinking like, how am I gonna make my work translate onto an egg? What scene am I gonna do? You know, typically I do a lot of like street scenes, urban scapes, and you know, cafe interiors and stuff like that. But how am I gonna like make that wrap? I like the concept of it being kind of wrapping all the way around. I didn't just want to make it like a curved scene and then just leave the back blank. I kind of wanted I wanted to use the whole surface. I'm so used to drawing power lines and stuff on a straight surface. I'm really interested in how I'm gonna follow the contour of the egg, and it's just a really cool project to kind of take on. I'm really curious how other people did it too. I really want to know how everyone was painting these things. I'm sure they had brilliant ways of doing it, and I've got mine stuck on a paintbrush.
To me, the audience for this show is going to be children. Here, every kid can relate to creating in their kitchen with mom and dad homemade Easter eggs and those brilliant colors and the fun of that experience. And now when the children come to see Art 360, they're not going to appreciate that they're seeing fine artwork. They're going to see wonderfully creative Easter eggs, and some of those children may one day be inspired to become artists themselves. And if that happens, I'll be very happy.
That's our show. You can find all of our stories online at WOSU.org. Give us a follow on social. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We're leaving you today with local music by the Outpatients. This 5-piece band takes its inspiration from the classic rock of the 60s and 70s. For all of us here at WOSU, I'm Kate Quickle. Thanks for watching. I'll see you back here next week with more great stories of Columbus creativity.
April Tsunami, mixed media painting. I'm a collector of things that have history. Paper, beads, map, wood, fabric, broken mirrors, bullets, stones, breakaway glass from car accidents. I put it all in my artwork because it's all about story. How old stories weave into new patterns, about spirituality, about mythology, about who we are. Columbus's greatest resource is its people. I wouldn't be the artist I am today without all the peers and mentors who've supported me, challenged me, and inspired me. I'm April Tsunami. Mixed media is my art, and there's no place I'd rather make it.
Production of Broad and High is funded in part by the Greater Columbus Arts Council, supporting arts, advancing culture, and connecting the community to artists, events, and classes at columbusmakesart.com.
PNC, committed to Central Ohio, for the achiever in you. From these contributing sponsors and viewers like you, thank you.